1 second. All right, so this is an example.
This is a -20 approve it camp site.
How long did it take you to make this?
1 week.
1 week to build this shelter. So, what is your plan once they come to ask you to leave?
Go build somewhere else bigger. I want my message to be understood.
Why do you feel that you need to be here?
Because there's nowhere I can rent a place with an affordable price.
Yeah. What
So
about?
I'd rather live outside than to live in shelter and get the government or those shelter being paid at $150 a day and treat us like kids.
Yeah.
And not bed bugs, and we're facing all kinds of problems in shelters. We cannot have a curfew. I'm a 46-year-old person. I don't think I need to be told when to sleep and when to get up and when to eat.
There's a lack of dignity in that setting.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
This is why I'm doing this. This was occupied by an 87-year-old woman. I've been building this camp for the elders and for the kids and mothers and parents without a place. And these were occupied by those kind of people. And these were my...
During this whole 30 days, the last month?
Yeah, and that was my private section. So I wouldn't disturb those people, but I was keep an eye on them so they can be safe and warm.
Wow, that's very cool.
This place is being approved at -30, 20 easy. Right now it's a little mess. You can come in if you want, sir. Right now it's a little messy because I had to unpack in a hurry. I still have my mattress, as you can see here. Got my mattress, I stay off the ground. Just need to have a little comb in and warm up the place. That way you can keep warm.
Impressive.
And this is where I learned all my trade.
What?
I learned all my trade in the northern Quebec because I've been passing most of my time with the Inuit up north for the past almost 16, 20 years.
Wow.
They teach me all that. They teach me how to survive. They teach me everything about winterizing yourself into extreme climate. So I'm extremely aware of what I'm doing.
Yeah, so you know how to survive.
I know how to survive.
You know how to live off the land?
I can live off the land anytime. I'm not afraid of cold. I love the cold. I actually always miss the cold.
Yeah.
I miss the north also.
But there's no free land to occupy anymore.
There's no free land to occupy no more because the government has took all their land. That's why I really agree with Nunavik. Nunavik is part of northern Quebec, and the 55th degree parallel has been not signed any agreement whatsoever for regarding the change of climate. They're extremely concerned Inuit people and the lovely people who should be able to taught other people like us how to live in their land without destroying it. Those hydro plants and all those stuff that they're building are breaking the ozone code. They're ice melting. The change of climate is unacceptable.
Have you been homeless for a long time?
No, I'm never homeless for a long time. I always have a place to live, but at a certain point at this time of this century, at this destiny, I mean, it's pretty hard to rent a decent place like we used to be like 20 years ago, let's say. It used to be very affordable rent and a reasonable price. And right now, what you can face is always bugs and rooms and it's...
What about minimum wage? And like people say, well, why don't they just go get a job? What do you say to them?
Well, people cannot all get a job because more certificate you get, less you work after, and less certificate you get. You never approve anyways on either ways.
Yeah. Well, would you say the education is not good, or are you...
I'm not saying the education is not good. The education is good. It's the employer are just exploited their own employees.
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard to get ahead.
That's why they send people to the company goes to Mexico to employ a low rate, so they can make their business, and it's all about money.
If you could go back to school for free, would you?
Of course, I always been in school for free.
Yeah. Well,
but it's nothing to do with the school. It's all about some people, they just get studying, they don't have paper for this job. Once they study too much, they have too much paper, too much information, they know too much, now they cannot hire them because they know too much. That's just an example, right?
So you can't get a decent job then that will give you a decent place.
Well, first of all, it goes all with the reference stuff now. It goes all with all kinds of damage deposit, first and last month rent, and
it's just a lot of obstacles. Just to
there's too
have a
much
decent,
obstacle, and it's not
to have peace of mind,
easy to
and
get
shelter.
a place anymore. So place like this is just affordable for me, and it's not destroying the nature, because all the pallet, as you can see, they all put down to the ground and now to the pallet. So when I get out, I just need to unpick them, put the pallet, stack them out in a pile somewhere, and they just need to pick it up. And I just roll my tarp, take the gears and put it on the pile, and let it go. There's nothing that destroys the nature in this matter.
Well, what would your message be of hope for the people that don't understand and need to know what the changes that you need?
They need to understand that the kind of life that we make right now, and the kind of life that we've been offered to, is it's extremely hard to understand. That I cannot talk about this anymore because it's too complicated.
It's a big picture, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big picture, and there's too much obstacle, and it's. We would talk like a whole day.
Yeah, I know. What change do you want then? I mean, to start with.
Low rate income, low rate rent.
Low rent, okay, affordable rent, yeah,
affordable rent, and decent life, and being able to work with good money, like making a decent pay. Like some people, they just work to live. They're like robots. They don't even have time to enjoy, to go to the movie together. There's no such thing like restaurant. Everything is based on marketing and money. And
would you say it's a fair system, or it's not a fair system for you?
I think it's not a fair system.
It's not helping you.
Let's say like 30 years ago was a fair system. This was an extremely good way to live. I grew up, my parents gave me a very decent life as a grown-up child, and I could not even afford to give this to my children right now because of the way it's
very hard.
The system is corrupted. The system is totally corrupted on every country.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts.
Thank you very much.
You know, I gave you a link to my YouTube channel.
Yes, but I give you some information about. I'm going to need one more.
Okay. Hey, how do you feel about the situation?
I feel that we're not being properly heard. I feel that they're not taking us seriously, and that they're not at all even showing us that they're caring at all in any sense. By telling us that if we have a home to go to, we can stay in the park. We can stay here, everything's fine. But if we don't have a home, they're gonna come and tell us we're leaving, and they're gonna arrest us if they don't. You know, I have a home to go to. That's not my issue. My issue is that we're not here fighting for something that's not being heard, when I know that the government was provided money at the G20 to help this cause that we're fighting for and protesting now, and what has happened.
They're not addressing it, are they?
They've never once addressed it, and they've probably used that money in, some other profitable margin that they're going to make something else back with it. You know, they don't need that money. They never needed that money, and they haven't brought down anything. And I don't agree with the government.
Would you say that the issue at the core of its the core issue, is inequality?
Yes.
Would you say at the bottom?
It is.
The bottom line here.
There's a huge fucking problem there.